Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the pump to drain outlet hose on your washer. It's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver and a flat blade screwdriver, a 5/16 nut driver, and a pair of pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, the first thing we'll do is to disconnect the power to the appliance. And our first step will be to remove the end caps on the control panel. Simply grasp the back of them and lift up, tilt forward, and disengage the little plastic locking tabs and set those aside. Now there's a Phillips head screw just at the front corner of that console. We need to remove both of those. Now with the two screws removed, we'll grasp the console on either side and pull it slightly forward and then tilt it up and back. It will support itself. Next we'll disconnect the harness to the lid switch assembly. We'll lift up on the locking tab and pull the harness out. And we have two retaining clamps that hold the back to the main cabinet. With a flat blade screwdriver we'll go into the front opening, push down on that clamp, tilt it forward, and lift those retaining clamps out. All right. And now we can remove the cabinet from the base and back assembly. We'll tilt the cabinet slightly forward. Then we can wiggle it out from underneath the front edge. Simply slide the cabinet out of the way. Now our next step will be to remove the drain hose from the drain outlet. And that hose is going to have some water in it, so you'll either want to have some towels or a container to empty that into first. But as soon as you pull that clamp off, you are going to get some water that's going to come out of here, so be prepared for that. We'll just set the drain hose aside. Next we're going to remove the 5/16 hex head screw that secures the drain outlet to the back panel. Next we'll remove the drain hose from the pump, and again we'll want to have something there to collect any water that's going to run out of that hose. So you press the clamp, pull it out of the way, and carefully slide that drain hose off of the pump. Then we can lift the whole assembly out through the back panel. We will want to remove the clamp from the old hose. We can discard the old drain hose assembly and install the clamp on the new hose. Feed that through the back panel. We'll no longer be using that 5/16 screw. We're just going to engage the bottom of the housing first, slide that down into position, and then there's a locking tab on the top. As we depress that and push back on it, it will lock it into the back of the cabinet. Now this hose is going to route around the outside of the tub support and onto the drain pump. So we'll locate the hose on the pump first, make sure it's fully seated on there. Position the clamp. And then we will locate this protective device that mounts to the leg, and it has a grommet that fits into a hole that's already in that frame. Snap that into place. Make sure nothing is kinked. Now we'll reinstall the drain hose. Make sure it's seated firmly onto the drain outlet. Reposition the clamp. And then we're ready to reinstall the cabinet. Now when we reinstall this cabinet, you'll note that there's a couple of slots along the rear that match up with two tabs on the base frame. And then there's a lip across the bottom of the front panel that will hook under the front of the washer frame. So the first thing we'll do is make sure that we hook the front in. You can open the lid and see down through there so you know that you've got it properly engaged. And there's also two little tabs that line the front up as well. Once we have those engaged, we'll make sure that the backs line up. Then we can reinstall the retaining clamps. The rounded portion will go towards the front, and the little hook will catch the slot on the back panel. Just take our screwdriver, push them into place. Reconnect the lid switch assembly. Make sure the locking tab engages. We'll rotate the console forward. And we're going to line up these two hooks on either side with two openings on either side in the cabinet. So those fit down into the main top. You can push it back, lock it into place. Reinstall the two Phillips screws. These go in on a slight angle. Now they go into a plastic socket, so we don't want to over tighten them and strip that plastic socket. We'll reinstall the end caps. There's a tab on the bottom, and two on each side, and then two more on the top. So we'll engage the bottom one first. Make sure the others line up. Snap it into place. Reconnect the power and our repair is complete. Told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching and good luck with your repair.